Now, from around 195 naira to $1 in May 2015, when the Buhari government assumed office, the naira plunged to as low as 560 naira to $1 in mid-February 2017.
And that, coupled with the scarcity of the dollar, created anxiety in the economy as consumers could not get dollars to facilitate their transactions. Now, to stem the downward trend of the naira and ensure availability of the dollar, the Central Bank of Nigeria began a massive forex intervention project.
On February the 22nd, 2017, the Apex Bank injected over $1 billion into the market. The impact was almost immediate. The plunge of the naira was halted, then reversed. And within a few days, the naira rebounded towards the 400 naira to $1 mark. Well, since then, the CBN has continued the Forex Intervention scheme, pumping billions of dollars into the Forex markets to defend the naira. Latest reports show that the CBN spent $15.9 billion in 9 months in its weekly intervention in the foreign exchange market. Now, that is between April and December 2017.
Now, the latest intervention by the CBN was on Monday, January 29, 2018, when the CBN injected another sum of $210 million into the forex market. Meanwhile, the naira has continued to maintain its stable run against the dollar, exchanging for between 362 naira and 365 naira to the dollar in the Bureau de change segment of the market, or the parallel market, as you may call it.
Yes.
But the question many people are asking now is, when will the intervention end? Or will it go on forever?
Absolutely.
That's a big question Nigerians are asking. How sustainable are these interventions? We have joining us a financial expert, Ambrose Omodion, with us in the studio. Good morning, Ambrose.
You're
nice
welcome.
to see
Thank
you.
you for joining us.
Right. Nigerians are very concerned when they hear the figures of foreign reserve getting to $40 billion. Yeah, it's wonderful. Government is working hard. There's transparency. There's, the savings attitude is getting in. Things are, looking bright. Naira is stable to a great extent. It hasn't gone up so sharp. It hasn't lost so sharp. But the point there is, when you hear the amount of money the CBN is pumping into the forex market to stabilize the naira, it can be quite discouraging sometimes.
Let me start this way.
Yes.
When it comes to management, especially economy, it's not a one-way thing. It's not like how will I put it? A thing you just sit down by yourself and take decision on your own alone. The forces in the economy also influence the decision of the either the fiscal policy or the monetary policy. They need to look at what's happening in the economy. Before now, I'm happy that you read what you just read now. Before now, when this government came on board, even before they came on board, the entire started shaking already before they hand over the government to the new government. But immediately hand over to them, the economy was like, the thing just went to a shambles. Then CBN have to sit down, they look at. They tried to intervene. They came with first new forex policy that even hit the market, and the thing was, everyone was happy that this policy will revive the system, but never. The thing, they now came back in April to come with solid, what we're seeing now. But I always say that anytime anyway that CBN will not continue to intervene in this market. But at this stage, they need to do it. You can't leave forces of demand and supply alone to determine the price of dollar now. There must be cushion from somewhere.
Well, the parameters are somehow favorable now to the Nigerian economy. I'm talking about the appreciation of the crude oil price, inflation.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, as you said, for them, they need to really put plans on ground, which they did, and we saw the impact of this plan intervening weekly in the market. But I will say that CBN will not intervene forever, as I said, but there is a time that CBN will leave the market to determine the stable, especially when, but now we're having foreign income coming in form of investment. That means as oil is going up, our reserve is coming up. It's not only the oil price is moving our reserve. Foreign investment coming to the economy is also bringing reserve. And also we're also gradually exporting things to earn dollar. And the performance of the stock exchange, is that contributing to? Yeah, is the major force on that. But I'm talking of the economy first because capital market represents the board. Let's talk about the economy. Then, when the banks and the oil companies continue also to play in this market, which they are doing now, with the export market coming in, gradually CBN will step out of the scene. But for now, they need to remain, because that is the courage foreign investors are having to come to Nigeria. But before now, the demand for dollar was high. And most of them were unable to withdraw their investment in Nigeria. Which, okay, if I'm coming to Nigeria with exchange rate of 200 naira to exit 600, 500 or 400, that means all the gain you make in Nigeria, you've lost them. Exactly. Then that is why they stay back. But when CBN came with this new policy, and they see that there is consistent and there is stability in that is why we are seeing that they are coming back again. That means CBN at this point should not be thinking of exiting now until our reserve, to me, will swell up to like $60 billion before we're thinking of stepping out gradually. Because if the oil price continues to go up, we know that it's not something that we can predict that it will go up till the end of the year. It will always oscillate.
Well, it's been stable.
Yeah, but it always oscillates. Because of the OPEC, cut in production and all of those making it. But with time, they'll start easing because I tell you, the way Nigeria will feed, not the way Russia will feed. At the time, we will say, no, let's come back to this.
But if you watch with the prices of the global crude oil or global price of crude oil, Nigeria is benefiting because we are an oil-producing country. But since we are importing this oil, refineries are not working, the same hardship of buying fuel and spending a lot, Nigeria is also feeling the pinch.
Yeah, that is why private sector has to come in at this point. What Dangote is doing to have refinery in Nigeria will be a plus. If by the end of
so that's the messiah now.
No, because the government has failed. I'll tell you, because refinery is working in Nigeria. But if you start refining fuel in Nigeria, we'll start getting it here, it also reduce our spending to import. That means we'll have the same reserve in the economy. That also swell up the reserve for us, which is good. But I believe at this point, CBN should hold on with that intervention. But as we are going, let them be planning that as the market is going now, the economy is going forward to the new year, let's have one exchange rate. Let them work towards it. Because they're able to pay the backlog of what was accumulating. That is why we're seeing this stability. Now we don't have backlog again that is accumulating that we're going to pay. Now, gradually, let's be planning how to have single exchange rate at this point. And also, all the factors that are coming positive now, the inflation, the GDP improving, is those activities are becoming. Now, they are listed about 36 items in the band list because they want more activities in the economy to boost the GDP. But to me, the 36 they are lifting is too early.
But what about the interest rates, really? When you talk about the private investors and then local manufacturers in the country to do more so they can export another. But what about the interest rate set?
I said on this program was that CBN cannot control inflation and interest rate at once. It's either you face one, the other one will correct the other one. If now we're seeing inflation coming down, now CBN can say, okay, let's reduce our MPR. That naturally the banks will start paying, but they can't just overnight reduce MPR. Inflation will go down. As inflation is coming down, gradually they know that the next one will start coming again. They can't control the two at once. One has to be worked on. That is why they are there to stabilize price. Now they are controlling inflation gradually with intervention because many manufacturing companies now, I can say they are alive now. In 2016, we are seeing red first quarter, second quarter red, but 2017, you see there's a turnaround because they have access to forex, they can import their product. But if you look at what the taxes they lifted up there, they said there's no substitute materials within locally. But which, to me, CBN is fast in lifting it. I would have said let's also stay till like middle of this year before that lifting, so that let's stabilize first. That stability will give us, even foreign investors coming that, oh, these people are coming out of recession, they are moving because we're still waiting for 2017 final GDP. Always they want to see the 2017, that GDP is the figure that investors want to see, foreign investors want to see. If it is positive and we'll see the direction is going, you see that we'll see more inflow. That more inflow also impact on our reserve. And in that process, managing the intervention will become easier for CBN. But CBN cannot manage this forever. They should set a time frame that this period will gradually step out. Then when the banks and the oil producing company in Nigeria, they bring in also forex. Then that market, the forex from the banks, from the export angle we're exporting, and from the oil companies, will start running the market. Then we'll now see that we'll have a free flow.
So what factors really contribute to impacting or improving the interest rates that you talked about, that she talked about, and then the inflation rate generally?
One, the inflation rate is the general, when there's too much money in supply. But our own is not that there's too much money in supply. It was cost push that were add earlier. Now that things are coming gradually, that the inflation, because CBN has started supplying, those manufacturers that were exchanging $1 for 500 can now exchange $1 for around 350. better than 500. That means a little gap for them. You can see that their production, their price they were selling 10 naira has come back to like 7 naira. People that are not any much can afford, but when they were selling 10 naira, those goods were at the shelf. Nobody were picking those goods because there's no money to pick at that time. But now, as they are operating, they are employing more. People that were sacked are coming back. They're earning little. Now they can buy. That's why their goods are leaving the shelf. On that, you can see that there's general improvement in the economy. Not just improved, just relatively improvement. We need to do more before we can say that we are. That's why we are recovering. When we say growth, I say we are still recovering. Growth have not really come.
So, what do you think is even better to allow forces of demand and supply to take their course and just have CBN regulate interest rates, foreign monetary policy and other financial policies to just regulate the system?
CBN have put the policy on ground for demand and supply to play. But as we speak now, the inflow
because
coming...
the Naira is not competing by itself.
Inflow coming and what we're generating cannot give but the demand for it is high. If they that we'll still go back to 500. That's why when the CBN intervened to be sure that everybody go get what he needs. And I said the investment and export window that was open for investors now. Why is that window flourishing, becoming attractive? Because no matter how much you bring from anywhere, you see Naira to exchange it. And that's why investors can come confidently like, oh, we can invest in Nigeria for the next 2 years. That's why next 3 years they can project. But CBN, if CBN should run out now out of this scheme, people, foreign investors will start running out because the exchange rate, I mean, they are coming in, will be at loss. That means we have to put relative stability for the Naira and dollar to be in a good position. But if the economy continues to improve, I'm telling you, export will start going out, things will start improving, CBN will gradually start.
Well, all these efforts really are not translating to improved foreign direct investment. Instead, we are seeing FPIs.
As you just said, you know, portfolio investors will always come to make money and go. But the government, I speak now, I'm telling you, there are a lot of things they should do at this point to attract foreign investors. Like? One, thank God they are starting with ease of doing business, which we know. But that ease of doing business, it's not, to me, it has not become too effective, but thank God we have it, we are moving gradually. The rules are not there.
Infrastructure?
They are not there.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, if a white man that really wants to invest in Nigeria say, let me land in Lagos airport and let me take a cab or a taxi from Lagos to Abuja. When you go to the flight in Abuja, you go back to his country, you will not drop a dime in Nigeria. Because if you are doing business, your cost of moving your product from Inabo to the town, from the village to the town, if it is more than what you are using to cost of production, you run. But this investor, they fly from Nigeria, from their country to Lagos, they go to the Nigeria Stock Exchange, they do investment and go. But if they want to really do direct investment, when they come, there's no infrastructure on ground. And we have really budgeted good money for it. Rather than there was the news all over that, yes, we have spent about $1 billion on infrastructure. Fine. To me, I've not seen that changing the economy as we speak. That means government should devote more on infrastructure because that will encourage entrepreneurs within the economy. That means we'll be employing people, activities to improve, but let them focus more on infrastructure. If government can do it and let everything, especially the power, I'm telling you, if we have power constant for, let's say out of 24 hours, have it for 18 hours, I'll tell you that 99% of Nigeria problem is solved. Those artisans that are on the road will come back to their business and things will improve.
All right. Nigerians are really very concerned about how long the CBN is going to keep sustaining or intervening to keep things going this way. Everything is still shaky because now there is relative, very, very, calm. There's calmness in the Niger Delta where, okay, oil is supplying and all of that. We're still enjoying the gradually increasing cost of oil prices and all of that. OPEC is still, pampering Nigeria to a great extent. All of those are things that can change overnight.
I agree with you.
And the moment they change, we're back to maybe square -1 or -0 and all of that. We hope that doesn't happen. But what are the things government, apart, because when you talked about infrastructure, and these are still long-term issues. They're still long-term measures that can stabilize the country, where if there's any shock in oil production or as the case may be, Nigeria will still stand or the economy will still stand. What can government really do apart from the infrastructure you talked about?
Also, source of fund, like he just mentioned, interest rate should gradually coming down now. Right. Now that inflation is also on the southward movement, let interest start coming down so that people have cheap funds to do business. Okay. That's where people can venture into things because they are fund. But in Nigeria, the commercial banks are not friendly to invest, I will tell you. They only lend to those big names, especially the quoted companies, blue chips. But the small man like me on the street, I want to do
MSMEs.
they will tell you, go and bring your grandfather. But now that CBN is open and a forum, what is called the SME loan, I think, but many of them also let they educate them to know how to collect loan from that. But the 9%, one digit, to some people of them that I see that business is high for them. But I believe what CBN is doing is another way to cushion the effect. Let if they have access to what...
You mean a special fund for
yes,
SMEs?
for SME. Yeah. If they can have access to it, let them educate them how they can easily have access. That's also another way of bringing activity in the economy. And before we know it,
how would the issue of taxes, that's increasing the tax net, how would that contribute to this?
Yeah, the tax net is a good thing to increase the tax, but you also look at the people, what are they earning?
Okay.
It's very important. If, for example, now, if I'm into a business, I'm just starting, and you are giving me an SME loan to start, government should know that for 3 years or 2 years, I should be tax-free. But let them go out and look for those that are the big shops in Nigeria that are not paying tax, that having house all over here and there, being big. But
the government already established that many of them are not paying anyway.
That means they need to educate them and also train their people to know how to collect the tax, how to document. I tell you, one thing in Nigeria is documentation. That's why we're having one BVN here, one road safety here, one driver license here, all of because documentation is our problem. If they have free documentation, you can know what this
that's what
earning.
That's what is for now.
That's what is earning, what one is earning. You can know easily tax them. But when you don't know what is earning, because there's no uniform, but I think gradually we are going there. Let's have a house or just one uniform database that will collect all the information. You can now start taxing gradually before you know it and educate Nigeria the importance of taxing. For example, in Lagos now, if they say you should pay tax in Lagos, you'll be happy to pay because you are seeing little improvement in things. Okay. If that is presented in other states, the federation, people will be encouraged to pay tax. Paying tax is good, but people want to see what are you doing with this tax. Not that I'm paying tax, it's not changing my environment, my locality, nothing is changing. People will not be encouraged. Absolutely. That is why they need to send people out to educate Nigeria. Oh, go to the village, not only people in the city. Even though they are paying tax, it's something. Educate them. If you pay, we can give you phone here. That phone, we need education.
As an incentive.
Education first.
About education, this is covering that
exactly.
as well.
The education will open their eye that what they gain for paying tax. And if they are seeing that, they'll be motivated to pay tax. Even on their own, they can volunteer to pay tax.
Okay, because of time, really, because we'll soon wrap up this segment. Yeah. In essence, would you say that the federal government's economic recovery and growth plan is on course and is yielding results? Yeah.
Let's say why? Because in Nigeria, they were good in planning. And when you say they plan, you'll be carried away. But implementation is a problem. If you look at that document for how many have been implemented, but what we're enjoying that is just that CBN are taking the boom by the horn. Okay. That is what we're enjoying now. What I think the fiscal policy which the government should do more to complement what CBN is doing, so that with it, as you just said, they will stop intervening in this market gradually before things will be stable, because we need to move to the next level. So that when we're saying that we're projecting the economy to grow by 2.9%, 3%, let it be tangible, not on a shake. As you just said, if OPEC tomorrow is okay, let's lift up the ban, the price, oil price might go down.
Yes, that's why financial analysts.
We need to have good plans now that we should implement. Now we are enjoying this little boom now because comparing when we have about $28 at early January 2007, crude price, and now that we're almost 70. You see the margin now. What are they doing with the assets? And also look at the budget. We have $45 in 2017, and the oil was almost 60 then. The excess, we know these are the things.
President Buhari has promised that the excess on the crude oil price will be used to carry out projects.
Let's see.
And we're also expecting a supplementary budget somehow.
Yes.
Minimum wage is coming and all of that. Okay. Well, we have to leave you here now. Ambrose Omodion, financial expert. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.